Uno, do it, tres, cuatro. Okay. All right, so we're going to take a look at the new D&D setting, the Odyssey of Theros. We're going to build a character, we're going to look at some of the maps, take a look at the material, find out what sorts of things were added. I have recently updated the Rob 2E effects coding in case. It's been suggested that I create a new type of bard. It's a college. And what was that college again, Bex?
The College of Eloquence.
College of Eloquence. And I've also copied and pasted the Clash of the Titans overview. So I'm thinking about making like a one-shot or maybe a three-shot Clash of the Titans game at some point in the future, if ever.
I love that movie. The old one, not the new one.
Yeah, this synopsis is from the 1981 version.
Good old Harry Hamlin.
Okay, so I'm going to get started with, let's just take a look at one of these images. So we have an abandoned temple. Let's see what that looks like. So it looks like they're giving us, first of all, for the library's sake, I have all the Rob 2E coding effects modules plus the conditions and effects. I have downloaded or pulled in all the Theros material. There's 4 books, an adventure, the actual setting, maps, and then the player stuff, which is your classes and race and such. And then I also have the regular core D&D books loaded. So just for sake of prosperity there. And I am going to change the mode over here on the right-hand side to create PC because I don't want to get distracted by all the little buttons. And I want to take a look at this player's map. Okay, so they did go with the black and white. Okay, I see. All right. So I don't want to spoil too much of it for you, but yes, they have gone with the Dyson logo style maps again. Let's see.
Can we see the Sun Temple?
Sun Temple. I'll do the ground floor. Yeah, Temple of the Sun. Yeah, looks like some ruins.
I'm disappointed.
I know.
Gray.
Well, it's not that. It's actually a
you're
mask.
In Unity.
Yep.
And yeah, okay, I gotcha. So it's black.
So yeah, if you take that off, yes.
Oh yeah, wonderful graph paper look.
And then if you go to line of sight mode, it shows you what's been changed. So they added all these lines, and then they added a little bit of terrain.
I told Zacchaeus, with all these new maps, what he needs to do is make them so that they are transparent,
Mm-hmm.
black and white ones, because then you could actually layer color underneath them.
Yeah, it'd be much easier to just throw it on top of something. I agree. You could probably do it yourself, but it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to build a character based off of some of the new features that come with Theros. Backgrounds, maybe. Let's see, do they have classes too?
There's 2 new subclasses. There is a bard and a paladin.
Okay. And what about the feats?
There's 1 new background. There's a bunch of new feats, I think. A lot of the the piety is has been put into the
Yep, supernatural gifts is what they're called. Set of feats.
No, I mean the actual piety. There's a
mechanic.
Yeah, I think it's in the other. Yeah, like all the piety mechanics.
Oh, here we go.
Excuse me, it's in feats. I see.
Cool.
Athros, devotee, champion of affliction.
It's cool. All right, and let's see. The other thing I wanted to look at was, did they give you any tables? Yeah, I'll look at that later. But yeah, I was just curious. I I haven't explored the module a whole lot. I kind of wanted to build a character and kind of see how that works out. So I'm just going to do the old 4d6 method. So I'm just going to set up a macro and just roll.
No tables, by the way.
Okay. That was a wonderful roll.
Maybe we should have a standard array.
We got to have some ugly in our life. So we're going to have a 7. So where do you want to put that?
I don't know if you know, but you can make it drop 1.
Oh, okay. You just would do die roll, subtract
I
d6.
can't remember what the exact command
is. /die 46k3.
Okay.
K3, yeah, that's right.
All right.
And you can also do 46r1k3, and it'll reroll ones.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I knew there was new dice pools. I just haven't messed with them.
They're quite nice. The exploding dice, the count successes, count failures. There's a lot of new dice pools.
Nice. All right.
When you're done there and you want to show any maps again, I want you to show the bronze owl. It fits perfectly in with your Clash of the Titans because it looks like Bebo.
Is it a map or is it just an image?
It's under Chapter 0, Introduction, D&D, Mythic, Odysseys of Theros, and it's the bronze owl.
So is it under the adventure?
It would be under, I'm guessing, maps.
You sure it's a map? Is it an actual place or is it just a picture?
It's a handout. Bronze owl. It's Bebo. He's perfect. And he's in color, too. He's not black and white.
Cool. There he goes. Oh, yeah. Here's our bronze owl. I like it.
Doesn't it look like Bebo?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. I like it. I love it. All right. So, okay. So we were looking at stats. So I have a 7. So let's put that somewhere.
Are we making the bard?
Yeah.
Well, we know we want the 17 in charisma, right?
Yeah, so this one's 17. Probably strength. I don't see this person needing a whole lot of strength. 17 and 7 are gone now.
Probably the next one would be important one would be Dex then if he's not doing strength.
Yeah.
What is that?
15? We can put a 15 there.
And then you have a 14 as well.
Should we put that in intelligence or con?
Con, yeah. Get the extra hit points.
What else we got here?
It looks like we have 2 12s.
Okay. Besides that 7, those are actually not very bad.
Maybe I'm missing it. Where'd you put the second 15?
There's 2 15s?
Yeah, the one that came out that totaled out the 17
rolled 7 of them.
Oh,
7 of them.
Got it. Okay, well, either way, we're close enough.
You could put a 15 in wisdom instead of a 12, since the last one was a 12. We're dropping the last one.
Okay. Cool. All right.
That's pretty dang good.
Yeah, it is. All right, so we have that. Now we need to pick a background, so let's take a look.
So the new background is athlete.
Okay. Yep, it's repeated twice.
It's because it's in the players. You have both the players one and the
and the
full version.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that gives us athletics, obviously, and acrobatics. There's a feature called Echoes of Victory. and you get proficiencies with vehicles land, which I imagine would be like a chariot or something like that. And then a language of your choice. So I think that's what I'm going to have him is like the ability to ride a chariot.
7 strength athlete.
Yep. Well, he's more finesse, remember?
That's right.
He's not gonna throw that discus very far.
No.
He's got a 14 con. He can run a marathon.
Yeah, that's what he's all about, is running and jumping and that sort of thing. He's not a strength guy by any means. He's probably very effeminate. He's got that build like he's just like a, I don't know, like a 14-year-old kid.
What was the name of the video game that was? It was like a Nintendo game. Is it Kid Icarus?
Yeah.
Kid Icarus. That's what I'm picturing right now.
Okay, so let's go with races. What do you want to use for a race? What's Theros giving us here?
I think Satyr is where you go with this.
Yeah, if you want it to be kind of in line with the build.
Because you got Centaur, Leonin, Minotaur, Satyr, and
Yeah.
Triton.
Satyr does make the most sense.
It is important to note this is the first time we have official races that are not humanoid.
Yay.
The Satyr is a Fae, as is the Centaur.
The Triton was in a previous book, though, wasn't it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it wasn't a Triton though. It was a.
No, it was a Triton.
Yeah, it might be in
Tritons are in Volos.
That's right.
Ah,
right.
there you go.
But I think they're still humanoid. The Centaurs were in something else though before this. Oh, Ravnica.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also Fae there as well.
Looks like I didn't get the updated race abilities modifiers.
So we're going to pick one of these, right?
Yeah, let's do the Bard.
Mm-hmm. Let's do it. Bard, 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 Bard.
You should load Vex's,
oh yeah, his insults.
Yes.
The most recent version, I split up like the everything so you can actually do like clean jokes only.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool. It was nice that you did that.
It was a highly requested feature.
Yeah, because I want to use it with their kids. So if I get it.
Right. Yeah.
It's like it ain't my problem you had kids. Like, well.
I'm incorrect when I said there was no tables because the Satyr does have a table for eccentricities.
Oh, eccentricities.
So you don't want to choose, what is it, acrobatics or athletics? I think you already have those.
Yeah, and he already has performance and persuasion.
Too.
So I think perception would do. Nature kind of makes sense. And stealth?
Insight.
Oh, insight instead of nature. There we go. That's pretty good. Well, history makes sense too. Oh well. All right, lots of skills. I love it. So I'm going to go ahead and level it up to where we get to the actual subclass,
which I think is 3rd for bards.
Yeah, it is.
College of Eloquence. All right.
And you get Silver Tongue at level 3.
Unsettling Words is the one that you give the bardic inspiration to the enemy, and they take it as a penalty.
Okay.
Mildly off subject. In Classic, do negative dice rolls work? Like as in Bane, where you would get negative 1d4?
Yes, they do. It's something they're working on in Unity that they don't work. They're supposed to work, but they don't.
That's what I thought. I did find a workaround, specifically for Bane, and you may have to use it here for that ability you were just referring to, where you get negative
unsettling words.
Unsettling words. Thank you.
Yeah, you start out with like a negative. You the way you do it is you do like for like Bane is a negative 1d4, right?
Yeah,
So you do
which
like
I just did 1d4 minus 5.
right. That's how you do it. That's the workaround.
So unsettling words is just bardic inspiration reversed, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Hmm.
It only applies to a saving throw, and they have to do it before you take your next turn.
Okay.
So you kind of have to like be like you yell at the spellcaster in the party and tell him, hey, shoot some spell at him.
And please get a 6 when you do your unsettling words.
And hopefully they don't shoot a spell attack at them. They use a spell that has a saving throw.
So I'm gonna break out all these skills and features and such.
Hey, wizard, banishment now.
Doesn't that only last 1 minute though?
1 minute is a long time.
It
Lots of
is a long
preparation and
time.
healing.
Silver Tongue is pretty cool. It basically gave us um like you get a minimum roll of 10 with what is it, persuasion and deception.
Yeah, if you get a roll of 9 or lower, it counts as a 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's got the Reveler trait, so that's where he got the persuasion and performance, and 1 musical instrument.
Oh, is that from the background?
The satyr.
The athlete? Oh, that was from the satyr. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I'm going to pick a language while I'm here.
Dwarvish, for sure.
Yeah.
That
Or
way
giant.
That way he can order wines in the correct language. Or order alcohol, I mean.
So I'm going to add his extra skills. Here's your next idea for a module.
What, like drag and drop skills?
Something like that.
I've talked to Diablo Bob actually about an extension that automatically adds like things like thieves tools.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a rogue or whatever, adds proficiency for those.
Yeah, that would be really nice if something automatically add tools and proficiencies for that kind of stuff. Although
Yeah.
not everybody uses an actual tool roll.
Right.
I think we need to have a subsection with instruments because there's so many instruments, but if you don't know the name of the instruments, what do you just like look through items?
I know.
It's really hard to find.
That is annoying.
Really strange ones.
That is very annoying.
There is one new spell, and it goes to the Triton. It's called Wall of Water.
It's not really new. That's actually been
No?
in
Okay.
other things. Yeah. It's in another.
Yeah, they got that in Bolos as well.
Yeah.
Probably because it's the same
Oh,
class.
yeah, because it's the Triton, yeah.
Or, excuse me, same race.
So now I need to pick 2 of these skills to be an expert in, and then all the rest will be half.
Performance for sure.
How about acrobatics?
Sure. He actually gets mirthful leaps too, so that fits.
So he'll just be a badass sprinter and jumper.
If you look at mirthful leaps, it's actually kind of cool. You've got it pulled up on the right there. It's down towards the bottom by the ram.
Yeah, you can add a D8 to the number rolled, to the number of feet you can cover. That's awesome.
Right. Yeah. Which means he can jump really high or really long.
Now, is that just a standing jump, or does he have to be moving?
It's both the high jump and the standing jump. So, or the long jump and the high jump, and it doesn't matter. And then it also says it's included even if it's a standing jump. So,
well, it makes sense because his legs are backwards.
right. But I mean, a regular long jump, like a 10-foot leap, is considered fairly easy, which means if you roll high, you get to jump almost 20 feet.
That's awesome.
Except that he has a negative strength score.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, but if skill for athletics is at 0 because you picked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can use acrobatics instead of athletics for jumping. Just depends on what you're doing.
Like the grapple thing.
Oh, and he's got expertise.
One of the very best things for a bard. I like it with rogues too, where they can get all those extra stuff things. Extra stuff things.
I do. I do wish there was. That's. I need to just like talk to Kent about making an extension for like a minimum 10 roll, like the both the rogue and a couple of other like subclasses. They get like basically reliable talent type stuff. So if it says that you get, on a roll of 9 or lower, you treat it as a 10. It'd be cool if that was actually, handled with an extension or something.
Yeah, it would be cool. I think I got most of his skills. Yeah, I don't think he. Oh, it says 3. I'm good.
Didn't you say you had well, did you add all the instruments?
I did. I added one because he got a free one from his racial.
You're proficient. Excuse me. You're proficient in 3, so I think all.
It's actually 4.
Skills. Well, yeah, plus that 4th one.
Banjo. Dulcimer, because he's only got a 7 strength, so of course he's going to carry around a 20-pound instrument.
I'll pick the actual instruments later. Right now, he's got a pan flute. That's what he comes with.
There's some new items too, like a molten skin breastplate.
There's a bunch
potion of aqueous form.
There's a bunch of legendary weapons as well, because the gods have their own weapons, and you can acquire those like mythic weapons. They're pretty insane. Some of the things, the items.
He's chaotic good. 4'7".
What would your what would that have to do with your 7? Wait, or did I misunderstand what you were asking? What'd you say?
His height
What
is
were
4'7".
Oh, 4'7". Really? Satyrs are that small?
They're not super tall. They're just.
Okay.
It depends on the world too, I guess.
I'm sure there's an age and height and weight stuff under the race. If you go and look.
I wonder if you could be a half satyr.
Hmm.
A semi satyr.
They're already kind of half human.
Yeah, it says fusion of humanoid civilization with the freedom of wild beasts.
Somebody got a little crazy one night, right?
Apparently.
Well, I think we all know about Rule 34.
Okay, let's see. All right, so that's basically the skills and such. So I guess I'm going to start building his actions, because that is where a lot of the magic happens. So what about spells? Did they add any there?
Let me open it up and find out.
No, there's no new spells.
Just
Unless
the
you count
Triton one that I
the
said.
Triton one, yeah. The Bard spell list is the same. So I don't know if you heard this, Leroon, but they've narrowed down some of the performance issues with Unity to actually Rob's coding packages.
Are you kidding me?
No, it's and they think it's because there's just so much text information
Mm-hmm.
when you have a bunch of them loaded.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, I will say that Kent has a lot of extensions that can be included in that too.
Yeah. Luckily, all of Kent's extensions are fairly small though. So even if you're running them all, they don't tend to slow things down. I think it's just because all of the coding goes into one category, spells. So when you click on that spell window, that's where you
True.
get like a lag. Like all the coding is, it may be for feats and for spells and for class features and stuff, but they're coded as spells. So it's like you're loading up,
Do you
I don't
think the
know,
same thing
2,000
applies with
spells.
Do you think the same thing applies with parcels for the background equipment?
I don't I don't think so, because those are, I mean, those are, it's only what, 20 or 30 parcels. It's not too bad.
Well, but
And
Whereas,
those
items,
are also tiny little text blocks.
yeah,
yeah,
but items always load slow no matter what.
that's true.
All my asset folders, they load slow because I have a bunch of assets. So
Mr. Buy every token on earth.
so the moral of the story is think lean.
How many cantrips does he have at level 3? Is it still just 2?
I think so, yeah.
So vicious mockery and what?
I give him like prestidigitation or minor illusion or something like that.
I like Fairy Fire.
Fair
Yeah,
fire is
fairy
not a,
fire is very useful.
it is, but it's not a cantrip. That would be way too
Oh,
powerful.
true.
How
Yeah,
about
you're right.
message?
I'm looking at the chart. 2 cantrips, 6 spells known at 3rd level.
Yeah, you could do message. I think message is on that list. It's just not in the coding. You have to go to like the player's handbook or all.
Yeah, I don't think the performance issues have anything to do with just text files. It has to do with the way it.
It was something that Moon Wizard posted on the forums though, that they've narrowed it down to the Rob's stuff. They just don't know why.
Yeah, but I don't think I have any except maybe one of Rob's files.
The one I
Mm.
told you to buy.
Yeah, I
The
have that one,
background one.
and there's a second one that I grabbed, the leveling one. But I only use that one when I know my players are going to be leveling that session.
Did you pick a second cantrip? Because I like Mage Hand.
Message.
Really?
So we think cure wounds, maybe.
Do you have charm
How
person?
many spells does he know?
6.
6 total.
Mm, definitely cure wounds or healing word, one of the two.
He needs at least one more 4th level. I like sleep
4th
and
level? I thought
or
you were making
first
a 3rd
level.
level character.
Excuse me, first
Oh,
level.
okay.
Either sleep or Tasha's hideous laughter. Those are good
I like
ones.
Tasha's.
No Thunder Wave?
Yeah, we can give him Thunderwave.
There's heroism. Oh no, that's not new. I was thinking heroism. Sounded like something that would be
Now,
new.
why is that broken?
What's broken?
Character sheet.
Try minimizing Tasha's hideous laughter and then reopening it. Like the little, yeah.
So what are those equal signs things? Is that the things that include spell tokens or something? In the spells.
I think the equal sign, yeah, is he included the spell token if you have, and that's probably why it's screwed up. By the way, is
Oh, maybe the equal is the encoding screwing up
like,
because of
well,
the
it's
equal?
because the spell token won't show up on the character sheet if he doesn't have, critically awesome essentials and DM's tools loaded, which I assume he didn't load CAE just for this stream. So that's why when he dragged it over, it glitched. And but if you close Tasha's hideous laughter, or like you close the little magnifying glass and then drag Thunderwave over, it fixes it. I don't know why it does that. It's just weird.
Because it's done that for a bit.
I did most of the coding for the tokens, and there are very few equal signs in any of the tokens that we did.
Which letters you had? You had W, huh?
I started with W for Windrunner, but yes, I did more than half of the alphabet.
Yeah, it was just you and like a couple other people, really, right?
Yep.
Whereas I did like 90% of the coding for Kent's stuff. And then we figured out why. It was because Rob didn't give anyone else permissions, and I just kept doing them. So now he's got some second level spells, right?
Yeah, I did a couple of these.
Shatter's always fun if you want like a damage spell. And if you ask my players, Zone of Truth is the most useful spell ever.
In my campaign, it's Grease. Grease is
Uh,
the
Oh,
I
yeah.
spell.
have players that will they will always not kill the last enemy. They will knock them unconscious, and then Zone of Truth is getting cast, and they're asking questions.
I actually like suggestion.
Suggestion can be really, really useful. Yeah.
I like Crown of Madness.
I can't remember what Crown of Madness does.
It
You
wounds.
yeah, it makes them. You can tell them to do something like, oh, fight your, co person. Yeah, it says to make them make a melee attack against a creature other than itself. Target you can act normally on its turn if you choose. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's like, attack your own party member, the bad guy. Unless they're wise, because it's a wisdom save. Or an elf, right?
Mm-hmm.
I personally have always been a fan of the Muscle Wizard casting fist.
That reminds me when what was that came out? Skyrim, when that was really big and everyone's getting into modifying it and such. I had made a physical character that all he did is go around and punch the crap out of everybody.
Heat metal's kind of fun. I was in a game once, and we were fighting against a guy that had I think it was maybe our salt marsh, because we were fighting a pirate or something. He had like a hook hand, and the whoever it was in our party that had that spell cast a heat metal, and the guy's hook was like heating up, and he couldn't drop it because it's attached to his arm, and he was like burning up. It was funny.
That's pretty good.
So I don't think Rob has added any of the coding for Theros yet.
Okay.
So if
So
you
He's
won't
got
mind,
some
like,
of the stuff. I have his list because I told him about the backgrounds and equipment, and he
mm-hmm.
said he fixed that. And I've got his little list that he said the ones that he's done and the ones that he hasn't done.
Okay, because I know unsettling words isn't in there, and I don't think I saw what was the other one.
Oh, maybe he hasn't done the spells yet. I think that was one of the ones. But last time I talked to him about this was on the 10th. So I mean, it's been 2 days. So maybe
Yeah.
he's got something done.
Hey, I'm still trying. I've been trying to convince him for almost a year now to go through the artificer spell list and just paste at the end of all the spells, comma, space, artificer, so that you can sort by artificer spells in his coding. And he's like, nah, I don't want to do that. But and I'm like, but the artificer is it's one of the classes that knows all the spells. So if you have the spell enhanced spell window extension, being able to drag all the spells over onto a character sheet, it's so useful.
Very true.
And if you can't sort by like the class, then I don't think you can code Silver Tongue.
no, but I might make it a note.
Yeah, you can make a note, of course.
I saw an exchange between Rob Tui and Zacchaeus the other day. Rob was asking if the class clickable box was going to get the artificer added, to which Zacchaeus' reply was, no, artificers are silly and should not be encouraged.
I have to admit, the artificer that is I've only had like one in a game that I've ever played in or run, and I'm running one in Tomb of Annihilation, and it may just be the character concept, not the actual class, but we're having a lot of fun with it. She's an old gnome lady who is an alchemist artificer, and she carries a blowgun and a bandolier of potions, and she dips her blowgun darts in the potions and then shoots them at people. and it's pretty funny.
That does sound like quite an interesting concept. I have
The
not allowed an artificer yet, mostly because I run low to mid magic campaigns usually,
Okay.
and somebody walking around creating magic items will just destroy the magic economy.
Yeah. Uh, and she has done quite a bit of of creating magic items. Um, Not really items so much as like lots of potion creating, and then like I think two or three people in the group had her paid her to make them like cloaks of protection, and she made a couple of bags of holding, but they don't go back to like Port Nyanzaru enough that she's like making lots of money by making magic items and then selling them, which I know is a something that people have complained about with that class, the ability to just like make 20 bags of holding and then go sell them. S- you'll have to do uh 1d6 minus 7 because it's a negative.
Yep. Or you can just
Um
roll a d6 and put a negative modifier, right?
if it was classic, yes, you could,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
yeah, and then I think you have to do save, right? It's got to be at the beginning of that save. I think that's right.
I believe that's correct.
And then it would expend um
On your next action.
I think it's
or it would just be no,
modifier.
it would be not on next roll. It would expend never, but it would duration would be 1 round
Okay.
because they have to. It has to happen before your next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that
You
would be.
could set it to expend once per modifier.
I don't even know how the once per modifier works.
When he rolls a save, that save 1d6 minus 7 will go away. It'll still
Oh,
show
okay.
the unsettling words until the end of the round, but the effect itself will go away.
Okay. The
So that
first time.
means it only saves one time instead
Okay,
of
that makes sense.
potentially more
Yeah,
than once.
more than once, right?
Because if you had 3 different people attacking you with spells in the same round, that would make you immune to all 3 spells, or it gives you that modifier.
Right.
I
I
don't think
use
that
the
would
same
happen
once
very
per
often.
modifier for what is it, sharpshooter or great weapon master, where you take the -5 for a +10.
Layroon, I did send you a link to the sidekick. Yeah, if you want to show people, the art on that is so cool. I love the artist that Grimm has contracted for all the Grimm Press stuff. He's so good. It's no, it's oh gosh, what is his name? Bob something. Oh gosh.
Pihada baby, eat the boy.
No. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Find his name.
That's pretty cool. Is there going to be more than just that guy, or is that's? I mean, that's a
Oh
pretty
no,
cool
no, no.
thing.
We've got 100 different sidekicks, and
Mm,
they all have 20 levels so that they can be leveled up. And
nice.
then each one will come with as that document shows, each one will come with a level 1 NPC, and then like a level 3 to 10 ish NPC to show
It's
like
very
what
helpful.
they look like. Yeah. Gosh, what is his name? It's he does all of the art for almost all the art for most of the Grim Press stuff. I know. Oh, I know how I can find it. I can look at the actual artwork for sale on Drive Through RPG. That's where his name will be. But if you want, you can show that in the stream. I don't know if you have it. If you're just sharing your window or you're sharing your.
Yeah, it's just sharing the window.
Oh, okay. You'd have to switch it then. Oh. But I love that. Even when you were like, "I'm gonna give him a flute," I was like, "Yes, it fits."
Pan flute.
He's just sitting there. His is just a normal flute. It looks like though, not a pan flute.
Gravenstein.
Is that his name?
Yeah, Google's a thing.
Yeah, Gravenstein. Yeah, Bob Gravenstein. I knew it was Bob. I remembered the important part, his first name.
To be fair, that is the more important one.
Uh-huh.
Although it's funny that artist Bob from Grim Press, the first return is still Bob Ross.
Oh, really?
That's because back from the grave.
That's because give it 500 years and people will be like, Da Vinci, who is that? I know who Bob Ross is though. People will forget, but not Bob Ross.
Okay, so I added the little things that weren't there already. Now
there is a way to add magical resistance to players. I don't remember how you do it though. It might just be you put an effect on that says magic resistance.
Yeah, well,
I think that's how you
it's
do it.
in. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's already in there. Let's see.
Oh, it's like once if you have the ability, it.
No, it's you'll just have to see. Yeah, it's part of a trait, but it's not built into Fantasy Grounds, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you do have to have an effect on.
But it should already be coded.
Caps lock.
I hate it. I want to tape it down, take the button off.
Did you know that this book, Theros book, has an alternate cover?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I was just looking through some of the images and maps in that chapter 0. All these are color, by the way. Oh my gosh, that alternate cover. Why can't my mouth work today? Alternate cover is awesome. It has so many rainbow colors. It's beautiful.
Are you gonna add the ram as a power or as a weapon?
As a power.
Oh, okay.
I see a little typo. It says Satyr magic resistance. When you open the spell up, it still has the Yuan Ti reference. Yeah. No biggie. Same thing.
That's Rob going too fast.
Yep. I will report it to him immediately. Actually, I probably should. That'll make his day. Let's
He'll
see.
probably say you haven't updated the file.
Oh, I just did too. Don't you tell me.
Knowing Rob, his immediate response will be, "Damn it!"
You know it. You know it's going to be damn it.
So I'm confused why you're adding the ram as a power as opposed to like a weapon, since that's basically what it is. It's an unarmed strike.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like that it's a racial trait. I don't think of it as a weapon because you don't really equip it. That's the only difference. And being as an item, it doesn't make sense because it's not something you buy, sell, and trade. It's also something that's not supposed to have added weight. So there's no point in having it as a weapon.
But I wouldn't add it as an actual item. Just add it to the actions tab as a
Right,
weapon.
right. But I'm just saying to make it simpler, if you made it a spell, you just drag and drop it, and you're done.
I guess.
What does the ram do?
Huh?
Except that
What does the ram do? I didn't see it. I didn't
It
read
just
it.
does 1d4 damage.
it's it replaces your regular
Unarmed
strike
thing.
with your ram head. You can ram people with your head.
I think the Minotaur has something similar with the horns.
Probably. I
Yep.
think they have horns. Yeah.
That's what I'm going to use. Is I'm going to probably end up using his and just modify it. Let's see. So, yeah, Minotaur hammering horns or goring rush.
No, those are different.
Yeah, they're much different.
There's the cat's claws.
That's close enough.
Yeah, the horns are 1d6 plus strength modifier for the Minotaur.
Okay. Why is that not going down?
Why is not going down?
Well, I try to copy and paste the cell in there so it would come down to the right area.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna rename the cat's claws to the ram.
I am, but I want to copy and paste the description. I want to replace the description. So the thing is for some reason, when you make a new power, it won't drop down unless you do something else, which is really weird.
Try tabbing away from ram. No, that still didn't.
Nope. It just does that. This is something broken with Unity.
Try the
like
brown
if
edit button. Is that
no?
Nope, that doesn't work either. Crazy.
It just does it.
Like,
you have to actually do something else. You have to trick it.
Like be extra tolerant always.
See, now I just drug something on top of it, and now it puts it in the right place, which is really stupid. Okay, so that is.
I don't have that same problem in Unity unless I'm or no, I actually haven't seen that problem. If I tab away, it drops down just like it does in Classic.
Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. I don't know why.
Maybe it's something to do with the Discord go live thing, because Discord screws everything up.
Maybe.
If Discord started screwing around with the way Fantasy Grounds works, we'd be in real trouble. No, it's bludgeoning. Isn't it? For the
Really?
horns? I would assume it is because they're just like curved horns.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I assume you want to rename it to Ram, yeah.
And you get your strength bonus, right?
Mm-hmm. It's gonna bring up the cat's claws thing.
And I don't like how you cannot select text very easily in
Unity.
Yeah, it's horrible. Especially if it's a small cell.
Your arrow thing, excuse me, your arrow thing doesn't work.
No, it's messed up.
Again, I say be extra tolerant always. To throw your little thing right back at you.
Well,
I'm being
so
tolerant. I'm just discovering stuff I don't care for.
I've noticed that like Go Live doesn't pick up your mouse.
Nope, and we've
So
tried pointers and everything. It doesn't do shit.
I figured out a great workaround. What you do is you use OBS and then you go full screen with your OBS and then that's the screen that you share.
Yeah, you can do it that way, but that's such a load on your machine.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, when I'm doing my classes with the map making, being able to see my pointer is
Yes, it's important. Yes.
fairly important.
I thought we were using the D4.
D4 for what?
To point.
Oh, yeah. You can do that.
I said someone complained about how fast the dice rolls.
Yeah, and there's a new weird glitch where sometimes when you roll dice, they like pop out the side of the chat. I don't know if you've seen that happen. Like that. Oh no, your chat window is pretty big. I don't think that one actually popped out.
Okay, so we have the spells, we have the racial traits, cantrips, class
Now
features.
you gotta choose a deity. It's Theros. The
That's
deities
right.
are way important.
Yep.
Chapter 2.
There's your piety thing.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember which 5 gods are the greater gods, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Because this is a setting adapted from
Gathering.
Magic the Gathering. Thank you. There's like one god for each color that is like the greater deities. And then there's two gods that are like older than all the other gods, even though they're not greater deities. I think it's the gods of fate and destiny. I think it's Clothos, and maybe Krupix. I can't remember. Yeah, like right there, Kothos. Like it says it right in the first sentence. Krupix, yeah, Kothos and Krupix they're like the oldest gods.
Kind of like this one, Prefix.
I don't remember if they have any alignments associated with them. You might want to scroll down. I don't think they do. There's a chart somewhere. It might be Gods of Theros or Divine Characteristics. I don't remember. Up at the top of that chapter.
God of Deception would work too.
Yeah. Because there are more details on them, like before you actually get into them. And then there's also the clerics and champions that talks about, because if you're a champion of a god, that's where you get into the piety stuff.
Right, but you're basically like a paladin at that point.
Not necessarily. Not all. Like that's why they call them champions instead of paladins.
Right, but the theory behind it is very similar.
Well, from what I've read, the theory is that anyone can be a champion of a god. It doesn't. You don't have to be a paladin.
Right, but it has similar connotations. You know, it's like, I'm not saying they're the same
Like
thing, but
yeah,
they
like
have the
right
same
there,
idea.
like right there where it's talking about Thassa's champions, it'll say alignment. Usually, like it just said that. Usually neutral, suggested classes, and as you can see, clerics there first. But then there's fighters, rogues, and wizards. So like the one that you chose, what was it, Krupix that you liked?
I like Phoenix too. Phoenix.
Phoenix, yeah. If you scroll down,
Yeah, rogues.
the
Yep.
bard is the first one suggested. Usually chaotic, often neutral. So there you go. You're
yep.
already chaotic good.
Yep.
I posted the alternate cover for the Mythic Odyssey of Theros in general chat if anyone wants to look.
I can't remember. I think you had to pre-order this book or something to get the version with that cover. With the cool what is it called? The metal Hydra or something like that? Armor plated Hydra.
Oh, is it? So it's another
It's a new
one...
monster. It's in the
Oh, okay.
It's a different kind of Hydra.
So for Phoenix's favor, I guess one of my parents had a good standing with Phoenix.
Nice.
Devotion is the ideal. My devotion to my God is more important to me than what he stands for.
It says it's available anywhere. The alternate cover as of June 2nd, and I was trying to see who did it. It's Kevin Tong.
Oh, nice. I like his stuff.
Yeah, you get a free disguise self spell for Piety of 3+.
Yeah, it does look like it was a pre-order.
So I think if I was in Theros adventuring, I would just make a way to track your piety. and make a separate group for it, and to just put all your spells or your favors in that group.
Well, and then they added the piety feats as sort of like benchmarks that you can add to yourself, I think.
Right. But I'm saying as far as the sheet goes, I just put it all in one group.
Yeah.
The Path of Phoenix.
If I remember right, Kevin Tong did a really cool cover for like a re-release of the Scott Pilgrim versus the World Blu-ray.
Hmm.
Which is how I know him, because I love that movie. What's the feature for the athlete?
Favorite event?
Victory. No, the Echoes
Oh
of
yeah,
Victory
Echoes of Victory.
feature. What is that one?
What
does it do?
It has something to do with spectators. Between adventures, you might compete in athletic events sufficient enough to maintain a comfortable lifestyle.
Oh, nice.
So if you're within that area where you grew up and performed, you have that benefit.
Are you gonna roll for a random favorite event?
Yeah.
Watch, it's gonna be like discus throwing or something like strength
I
based.
hope not.
Boxing? Oh, he's all about dodging.
He's more of a Sugar Ray Leonard than a Mike
Yes.
Tyson.
Yeah. He's a shadow boxer.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. I'm a boxer, can barely hold his arms up.
See, he should have got long distance running. That would have fit just perfect.
I really wish you could just do like one roll with all this. I mean, you can make a table, I guess.
Yeah, like a nested table.
Yeah, just nest it all together and you get those outputs.
I mean, I could probably do that, but
Is it gonna be worth it? Yeah.
well, I mean, it would be worth it to some people, but I'm not sure I'd feel comfortable selling it, even on DM's Guild with the DM's Guild license, because all I'm doing is making copies of all of those tables,
Yeah,
and
you're
then
just
putting them on a
attaching it
nested
to a
table.
dice roll. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like I created something and I need that additional thing.
I'd be okay if you put it out there for free.
Well, that would be even worse, I think. Because if I put it out there for free, then Wizards of the Coast isn't even getting a piece of the action. At least if I sell it for like $1, every time it sells, they're getting like 25 cents.
Maybe his father was a boxer, but he could never live up to it. Or his father was a shadow boxer.
Your father was a shadow boxer, and your mother smelled of Phoenix. Because one of them had to have been a champion of Phoenix.
That's pretty cool. So we utilized a lot of the different, well, not a lot, but at least we used most of the content that comes out of the
Yeah.
book, except for feats. I didn't pick a feat yet, but
Well, we can look through the feats though.
yep. So these are the blessings and the piety things. And this is the Piety of Phoenix. Oh, that's a big one.
That's the champion one when you get over 50 piety. There's a lower level. There's like two or three of them for each god, I
Yeah, that
think.
makes sense.
Um, where's the Phoenix devotee or whatever?
Okay, that's the supernatural stuff. Okay. There you go.
So that would be the first one you would get early on.
So that goes into feats, and then you just basically get this spell for free.
Mm-hmm.
You can add your charisma modifier, and you regain all the uses when you finish a long rest.
And you can cast it a number of times per day,
Equal
your
to.
charisma modifier.
Yep.
Yeah.
Minimum of once.
So what's the next one up? The next is disciple.
So this one says
Ooh,
you are hidden from a creature and miss it with an attack. Making an attack doesn't reveal your position.
that's pretty cool.
But that's kind of a powerful one. That's 25 plus.
Yeah. So there's one that's Phoenix's votary. I think that's the one you get when you have 10 uh 10 piety. Because I think that's how they go. There's one you get at 3, one you get at 10, one you get at 25, and then one you
I
get
wish
at
they would
50.
have changed the order of those and put it by level instead of by the name of the god, because it's all broken up.
Yeah. Which one are you looking for?
I was just seeing what other levels they have.
Do search by VOT.
Well, what if I just go Phoenix?
Oh, you could do Phoenix, yeah. Because there should be 4. The one we haven't looked at is the votary and the champion. Ooh, advantage on deception checks. And then the last one you get, increase your dexterity or charisma by 2 and your maximum for that score. So you could get up to a 22 charisma.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty dang cool.
Yeah, that's when you get to that heroic level.
Yeah. Well, from what I understand, you get 1 piety is supposed to be awarded whenever you do something that benefits the god. Like, so in furtherance of the god's goals, which means you usually will get maybe 1 piety per adventure. At least that's what the reference manual when I was reading.
Yeah, there's all the weapons and the wondrous items. Helm of the God.
Well, those are the templates that you're looking at there.
Yep.
I think there might actually be more in just the items.
Potion of Aqueous. Yeah, it looks a little broken there.
There's a bunch of new NPCs though as well. That's what it's called, the Iron Scale Hydra. That's the new one, the one that was on the cover that
Yeah.
Michelle posted. Very
It's
cool.
pretty cool. Anybody else want to see anything? Some pretty cool stuff in
I
here.
wanted to see the rest of the pictures that were in, what did I say, number 0 or something, in the maps and images. Chapter 0, yes. Like Madami is cool.
All right, I want to go to, in this case, one advantage of Unity is the ability to be able to go to images.
Oh, and load it by campaign, huh?
Yeah. So
that's nice.
That way you can have preview images so you don't have to open up every single image here.
Do you know what the general and the protector, see how they have, it's like the picture has like two things. Are these things that are like fighting each other, or do you know what that is about?
No.
I'd have to read chapter 0. Get some context.
Oh, that's true.
I think it's under D&D and then M. Mythic. There you go. You're in the right area.
I always forget about that arrow.
Nope, you scrolled. Go back. You were there.
Yeah, one
go back
page
on
back.
the arrow. Yeah. And then go down to the bottom or up to, yeah, there we go. In the middle somewhere. No. Yeah, you're right there. I'm sorry. You're right there. Mythic audio there.
See, it doesn't really matter. If you have a whole bunch of anything, it slows down.
It does, yeah.
So it's not just Rob's thing. If you have more than like 10 items in a category, it kind of slows down.
Oh, I know. The easiest way to get Unity to like lock up for a few seconds is to go to your modules and load Dungeon of the Mad Mage.
Oh yeah.
And it'll lock up for at least 10 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Is that because of all the levels of the
There's just
things?
of all the adventure
There's a lot of
modules,
artwork in it.
Dungeon of the Mad Mage has a ton of stuff in it. Just has a ton of content. It's the only adventure I know of that goes like will take you to level 20.
Do you know if anybody's tested this with solid state drives?
It
Tested
doesn't
what?
improve the performance that much.
Oh, you
I
talking
have
about Unity?
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
both
it doesn't.
Unity and Classic installed on my SSD and the data stored on my SSD and
I'm sure it writes faster, but it has to have that information compiled before it writes.
yeah.
See, now if you would have went to the 0 thing, you could have been clicked through this already.
Well, I wanted to, and you
But
can
It
have
looks like
haven't
thumbnails.
seen our picture, the
yeah,
pictures that I wanted to see.
I think they're sorted differently in the actual assets than they are here. So there's that cool brawn owl. Ooh, I haven't seen the back of the alternate cover. That's cool.
Oh, you're right. That is the back. Okay.
Yeah, the left side is the back cover.
See now the general. See how they're like, they look like they're maybe from like if you were in some kind of a temple or something, and maybe these were like panels on the wall.
Yeah.
Because they have the something and the something, or maybe I don't know
Well,
what
this
they are.
might be part of the arena when you fight in the Coliseum.
That would be cool.
It might
Those
be
are
some
cool.
sort of what do you
I
call it?
like the artwork. No comment on the maps, but I like the
Yeah.
artwork.
Yeah, the I think it might be like your 4 manifestations of the warrior or something like that, you know.
Okay, I can see that.
Because you have the hunter, the philosopher, the warrior, and the protector.
Hey, that one there, the Vanquisher, is that
Yeah, it looks
what's
like
his
there's
name
8 of
with the
them total.
Medusa head?
Yep, something like that. Or no, this one he cut off the head of a minotaur.
Oh, okay. Because that reminds me of Clash of the Titans when he cut the Minotaur's head off.
Yeah, so these are probably like the 8 pillars of combat, or who knows.
I don't know. I'm sure we could figure it out if we read chapter 0.
Probably. I closed mine down.
All right, so I guess Rob's going to do a show this Sunday covering this. I don't think he's going to build a character, but I think they're going to go through the module a lot more. So if you guys want to see more of it and, you know, get some free prizes and interact, he's going to be doing that this Sunday night. Because he did ask me, what are you doing this for? I thought we're already doing this. And I'm like, oh, well, we just kind of wanted to play around in the community and show people who can't make it at, 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Definitely got to use that owl when you make your Clash of the Titans because it looks just like Bebo.
Yeah, I agree.
Whatever his name is. Or am I confusing it with the what's his name? BBB, Beady Beady Beady. What was that show that was on TV? Oh, I can't think of his name.
Buck Rogers?
Yes, Buck Rogers. The what isn't it? Beady Beady Beady. What
The
was
show
he?
was-
I can't remember. Twiggy. That's right. Twiggy.
Who'd you say was doing the stream 6 p.m. Sunday Pacific?
Rob.
Rob Tui.
That's pretty good to know because that's apparently starts about an hour after my Tomb of Annihilation will finish on Sunday.
Not to mention all the games after that you will always see Vex in.
Huh?
You like to play those games that he plays.
The
after
box
Oh,
all
games.
things
Yeah,
Instagram?
if I remember to watch the stream on Sundays, I usually stick around and play the Jackbox games. I'm good at trivia games and stuff like that, so I enjoy playing them. I
Yeah,
used to be a member of like a competitive like bar trivia group.
Oh, cool.
Uh, but
Fun. I like trivia.
eventually I got bored with that. It's just like
That sounds
when
very
you're
counterproductive.
when you're doing it competitively, it's not as much fun because people will take it way more serious than they need to.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I was part of another group where we did bar trivia as well. And the second season, we actually won the $1,000 ground prize.
Oh, fun.
I have an Elven Ranger that I'm making for my game that I'm running during our Founders Day, and she has the athlete background, and I just rolled her favorite event, and she is doing chariot or horse race. Can't you just see a Elven Ranger doing a chariot or horse race? About as good as
Yes,
your guy doing the whatever what he's doing boxing with the 7 straight.
It's a
Elven
shadow boxer.
Ranger running around on a chariot, shooting her opponent's horse with her arrow.
Something like that. She's got some pretty good stats. 16, 17, 14, 12, 16, 12. Well, she's not very charismatic, but that's so you're gonna shut down the stream?
Yeah, I'm
Or
gonna
you
give.
already did?
No, I haven't shut it down yet.